Hi guys, today we're going to show you how to make salami using the High Mountain Salami Making Kit. So for the first step, we've gone ahead and cubed up our beef and our pork into 1-inch cubes. We got about 5 pounds. We're going to run it through the grinder, we'll season it and cure it, and then we'll leave it sit overnight. Salami's a little different than other sausages, especially because we're adding an encapsulated citric acid. It has to be added right before the cooking process. All right, so now we have our meat ground. We're ready to add the seasoning and cure. So a couple little tips with salami or any sausage making. When you're grinding, having your meat partially frozen makes the grind a lot easier. It prevents friction in the head itself, and that way it keeps it from getting too warm. Also with salami, we will not be adding water like we normally would. We were wanting this to be a dry aged product, so that way after we've cooked it, we can hang it to dry. We don't want that excess moisture. Our seasoning kits all come with an instruction sheet. We're doing 5 pounds of meat, so for 5 pounds we need 3/4 cups of seasoning and 3 tablespoons and 2.5 teaspoons of cure. 1, 2, and 3 on the 1/4 cups. And then for the cure, 3 tablespoons and 2.5 teaspoons. And I actually read that wrong, it's 2 1/4 teaspoons on the cure. Okay, so now we're ready to mix. If you have a hand mixer or anything like that at home, electric mixer, you can do that as well. Just make sure you don't let the meat sit in it for too long, because the curing agent can have a chemical reaction with the metal and add a metallic taste to your product. But once you're done mixing it, just go ahead and take it out right away, transfer it to a non-metallic bowl, anything like that, and you'll be all set. All right, so now we have our meat mixed. One thing to remember is if you're using a hand mixer, electric mixer, anything like that, that is metal, the cure can have a chemical reaction with it if it sits in it for too long. It is safe to use, but as soon as you're done mixing it, please take it out immediately, put it in a plastic bowl, plastic bag, anything like that, just to keep from having a metal taste in your meat. All of our seasoning cure is mixed in. We're ready to cover it up. We'll put it in the refrigerator, come back tomorrow, add our citric acid, and we'll get it cooked. So we've let our meat sit overnight. It's now time to add our citric acid. I've got 1 tablespoon and 3/4 teaspoons for the 5 pounds of meat that we're doing. So we've added the citric acid after our meat is sat overnight. We'll mix it thoroughly, and then it's ready to stuff in the casings. You can run it through the grinder one more time if you prefer. The purpose of the citric acid is for the dry aging process. This is what's going to keep bacteria from growing when it's hanging after it's been cooked. So you want to make sure we get a good mixture, and then we can get it stuffed and into the oven. All right, so we have the citric acid mixed in. We're ready to stuff our casings. We're going to use the High Mountain Seasoning Big Shot Jerky and Sausage Gun. The reason why we do the citric acid at this step is as soon as you start mixing it, the encapsulation starts to break down a little bit. So if you've let it sit overnight, it'll still add that tangy taste to your meat, but it won't give you the security of keeping the bacteria from growing while you hang it. So meat's gonna be a little tacky, so it might be a little tough to extrude out of the gun, but we'll be just fine, get it in the casings and get it in the oven. One thing too that can help you in this process, if you're having some of these smaller diameter tubes, is you can use something like a PAM cooking spray. They make a food grade silicone that you can spray them with. It just helps the meat to slide out of the tube and into the casing with a little less friction. Okay, we've had our casing soaking for about 10 minutes in a saltwater solution. These are provided in the kit. They'll each do roughly about 1.5 pounds of meat. So we'll get the meat stuffed, and then instead of using string to tie them off so we can hang them, we'll use hog ring pliers to close them off at the end. So when you get your casing stuffed, you're going to want to squeeze it down a little bit. Don't over tighten it, because that way they'll explode when you cook them. But to get a good twist, take your hog ring plier. We do not sell these here at High Mountain Seasoning, but a lot of your local sporting goods stores, you can find them online. They come in real handy whether they're making salami, summer sausage, anything like that. You put it right on the neck, and then you'll clamp it down real tight, and it'll hold it nicely in place for you. Just put it right on the neck that you've just created, give it a squeeze, and you got a nice little tight seal. All right, so our casings are stuffed. They're ready to go into the oven. I've got it preheated to 190 degrees. We'll check it here in a couple hours. We're looking for an internal temperature of 156 degrees for them to be done. And then after that, we can hang them to dry age. We'll see you in a couple hours. All right, so the salami's been in the oven for a couple hours. We've went and checked the temperature. It is 156 degrees internal. We pulled it out. It is cooked. It's ready to eat if you want, but now it's time for the dry aging process. So they need to lose 25% of their finished cooking weight. So this one weighs 1.5 pounds or 1.5 pounds. So it's gonna need to lose 6 ounces. So if you're here in Wyoming where we're at, it's very dry. It may take a couple days to lose that. If you're in the Midwest or anywhere where there's a lot of humidity, it may take a couple weeks. So please be sure to weigh it each day to look for that 25% weight loss. All right, so we've let the salami hang for a few days. We've been weighing it each day to see what the weight loss is. So we've come to about 25% weight loss. When it was finished cooking, it was 1.5 pounds. It is now down to 1 pound, 2 ounces, so it's roughly lost about 6 ounces of weight. It is now a good dry aged salami. Some people like a harder bite. You can let it hang a little bit longer if you like. I just caution you to continue to double check how much weight it is losing each day depending on where you're at. And again, drying times do vary depending on location. Here in Wyoming, this took 2 days. If you're in the Midwest somewhere with a lot of humidity, you could take a couple weeks. So we're ready to cut it up and see how it looks. See how it turned out. Nice, good, dry-aged salami. So now you can slice it up for crackers, just eat it as is, like as a snack. The casing on it is a collagen casing, unlike our summer sausage casings, but both are non-edible, so please be sure to peel it off before eating. Nice slice. Peel it off. You've got a nice salami. Super simple to do in your own home. Do it with wild game, domestic game, anything like that. All right, if you want to find out more about making your own sausage or jerky, please visit us at our website at himtnjerky.com. Check us out on our Facebook page, Instagram pages, our YouTube page, High Mountain Seasonings Official. Thanks for watching and good luck hunting this fall.